match I couldn't handle. No one else could ever hold a candle. Get ready for a battle, cause you know that
Happy Friday, May 20th. It's Chris and Mark with the NWA Xchange podcast, the only podcast you need to know everything about Bella Vista and beyond. It's Friday, 8 p.m. Let's go ahead and get into this. Hey, Mark, what's going on, man?
Hey, what's going on, brother? What's cooking?
Same old, man. Some new updates, some new revelations, into early voting week, so into very early voting week, so
yeah.
Hopefully everybody got out there and got that stuff knocked out early.
Yeah, I got out early in the week. I ended up voting the primary on Wednesday. So
okay, I did it Thursday. I had to do a little bit more research and stuff, and it's gotta. There's a lot of, like we said, it's the full box of nerds running, man, this time, man. I mean, it's, some are running contested, some are running uncontested. Like I always say, man, do your research, who you think is going to best serve your interest for the near and long-term future.
Yeah, that's very, very important. You see what's going on in this country right now, and you have your right to vote, and you got to get out and do that. I was disappointed in the POA turnout. Voting turnout was at 22% or something like that. It's just disappointing,
But they're talking about another vote coming up with the POA soon too. For assessment increases that would be in effect. Basically right at that 3-year mark, and it's like. Man, dude, if we're only seeing like 22% turnout for board of electors, these are going to be the people that are going to be like, yeah, we should vote for an assessment increase, right? I mean, they're the ones that are actually going to be voting on yes to, the amount of the assessment increase and how that vote could go, versus improved, unimproved, et cetera, right? Well, it's important to make sure that you're getting actually like a board of directors that going to, look after the best interests of the people, and they're actually receptive to the input of the people. Gotta say, they had three on deck though, and they announced the results of that, and it was it Jason Lloyd, Mike Yab, and Jerry Barron Jr. So 2 incumbents and a new guy. So
yeah, congratulations to all 3 of them. They deserve it, and
they do.
I just wish more people would turn out and vote. And we talk about this all the time, and people have to get out and engage in their community if you want to make changes.
22% is a very low turnout, in my opinion.
Yeah,
very low turnout.
And those were emailed out It could have been a simple click.
Mine was in junk, man. I mean, mine went to junk, but I have a habit of looking at my junk email.
Right.
I at least check it at least once a day, because sometimes stuff does get slipped through, right? Should always make it a habit to look at your junk email. Just saying.
Right. Yeah.
So tell me what's going on this week, brother.
We get a city council meeting Monday, March 23rd, 6:30 p.m. Again, we're talking about getting involved. Everybody needs to get out there and talk to the city council, man. Get involved with the process, and any issues you have, you need to bring them to light.
Keep up with city business, man.
Yeah,
because they're gonna be doing business regardless if you keep it up or not. So.
Yeah, for sure. So, hey, the fire station number 3, they just got done completing that not too long ago. They're having an open house on Friday, May 27th at 11 a.m. That's down in 212 Glasgow Road, right near Branchwood fitness facility right there.
Okay.
So,
yeah, that's I think that's the only indoor pool that we got, right? Is Branchwood.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah. Okay. Open house. That's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
The kid out, let them check it out and stuff, and I'm sure they got fire trucks and stuff there too, right? Check it out.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll have a lot of things going on there. So if you get a chance, check that out. It's getting warm, Chris. It's 85. We're getting into that warmer weather now. So
that rain earlier this week, it was muggy, man. I was like, man, I need to take 2 showers today, 3 showers.
Yeah,
man, I'm getting
right.
Like, you walk outside to get the mail and stuff, you're like, muggy, man.
Yeah, it was. They're scheduled to open the outdoor pools in Metfield and Kingsdale on Saturday, May 28th. So, which is a great time to get that done. So we're going to be running from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Again, keep in mind you have to have a POA activity card, and you can just roll in there and swim. So
roll right in.
Yeah. So the beach at Lake Avalon is going to open the same day out there. So
I know the kid.
Too.
I know the kid and the wife like going out to that beach too, man. I know a lot of people were like, well, we're bringing in sand to put on a lake and stuff. But I mean, it's a nice area, man. It's
It
offers something different, man. A real sand beach, right?
Yeah, that's open Monday through Friday, 11 to 7, and the weekend, Saturday and Sunday from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. But you can also rent paddle boards, kayaks, all kinds of stuff. So all that stuff's available. So if you have young kids and a family, check it out. It'll be a good day to go out there. So
wear that sunscreen though, man. You get a little reflection from that sand, man, and coming up.
Yeah.
Even wearing a hat and stuff. Wear that sunscreen, man. You feel it real quick.
Yeah, you'll burn right up. We talked about this earlier. Early voting primary started in May 9th. It's going to end up on the 23rd, which is Monday. So it's your last shot to get it taken care of. So
election day is the 24th.
Yeah, I ended up going out to New Life Church over in Reardon Road in Bella Vista. Did the primary there. So still have that option in Bella Vista. So
did you have any weird, I know it was supposed to be an open primary, Mark, right? And so you told me you went there and you're like, they asked you, are you?
So I had a weird conversation with them. I didn't really understand. I had told them that the primary is an open primary, but they wanted me to designate a specific party. Whether it was Republican or Democrat, or I don't know what the third party, Green Party or what have you. So I had mentioned to them that it's an open primary. In other words, I can vote any side of the aisle I want if I want to vote for Republican or Democrats and stuff. And there was a lot of confusion, and I think I had a few questions for them, but I think it's how they communicated with me that was troubling, because it made it sound like if you're gonna assign yourself, so your initial sign in, you have to pick that party.
I had to too.
Then you go to the booth and do your ballot. So it's confusing, man. It's confusing people because they feel like if you pick that specific party that you have to do
Well,
that.
I
For
went
me,
so as far as to, they make you sign on that tablet after you present your ID and all that, and then you got to sign on that tablet, and then there's like an accept.
Yep.
And so I hit the accept by stylus, and then next, the poll worker had turned around to tell somebody to don't forget your stylus or your sticker, right? And so I hit next. Habit, right? I touch screens and I work on computers you touch a computer every day nowadays. So it's like, hit next, right? Yeah. And I'm just, don't do that, man. Like I got kind of chastised and had to re-sign my signature, like they're like, no, back and redo your signature. And okay, cool. Then I accidentally did it again, except, oops.
Yeah, I brought it to their attention. I said, listen, in the state of Arkansas, it's an open primary. And they just looked at me with a blank stare. Well, this is the way we've always done it. And I'm trying to explain to them that I have the option to vote whoever I want to vote for.
Well, I tried the same thing. I said, am I going to see Democrats and Republicans on the ballot? And they're like, no, you're not. And I was like, well, you have to choose a party. You're not declaring a party, is what I was told. You're not declaring a party. You just have to choose. And I'm like, well, there's valuable people on both parties because, in my honest opinion, the two-party system's messed up, right?
Yeah.
Well, you got to pick one. So I picked one, and just, I rolled with it.
That has to be. I don't know. That has to be corrected.
It's just
There's a lot of
confusing
confusion there.
though.
Yeah, it is. It is. So,
and I heard people actually echoing the same thing when they were walking out of the polling station. I heard like two people say, "Well, that's not what they said on the TV." Right?
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know.
Maybe we need to get maybe Joe Bollinger on or somebody else that has a better idea that what's happening, because the communication is inaccurate.
Well, I think a lot of people are leery of the whole voting system to begin with, right? And now you're adding confusion to it. Like I honestly think the smartest thing to do would just be like have a ballot, right? Just one ballot. You could put DRI, but have this is everybody who's running for this position. This is everybody who's running for this position. Everybody who's running for, get rid of the whole party thing, right? Like you got to pick a Republican or a Democratic ballot, right? No, put everybody on a ballot.
Yep.
And I can go through, I'm an adult, right?
Yeah.
You're an adult. You can go through and say, I've done my research on everybody who's running for governor.
Right.
I've done my research for everybody who's running for senator. I've done my research on everybody who's running for justice of the peace. Done my research on everybody who's running for Supreme Court justice, right?
Right.
And I can go in there. I'm an adult. I can pick the person, right? No confusion at that point. Yeah. I don't know. Makes sense to me. Maybe I'm just crazy. I don't know. Makes sense to me though.
No, I think it's a good idea. So, the general election is going to be November 8th. We talked about that before. So you can go and put your vote out at the Benton County Courthouse, 215 East Central Ave in Bentonville. So Bella Vista Charity Classic, Golf Classic's coming up next week, May 25th through 28th. We talked about that before. Also, a lot of good golf going on there. It'll be out in the Highlands Golf Course. It's out 1 Pomona Drive in Bella Vista. They're still looking for volunteers out there, so please reach out to Highland Golf Course. And I think it's Ruth Hatcher that is looking for volunteers. I saw a Facebook post. They're looking for more people. So it's a good time, some good golf out there. So, put a few hours aside and donate some time.
I saw an email from them today too, that they were still looking for volunteers out there.
Yeah. So
hopefully they're able to fill all the needs.
Yeah, I hope so too. So Metfield Kids Fishing Derby, June 14th. So age 3 through 15, going to run from 8 a.m. to noon. Early registration will be at 7:30. So
if you're 16 and you've never fished,
We'll give you a pass.
Sorry. Yeah.
No, yeah, I know.
Sorry.
I know. That's what I know. It is ridiculous. I
Yeah.
know. Shouldn't be an age group there, but maybe we can get that changed. Or
Hey, they just don't want
listening.
these old school fishermen. They're like, man, I got every trick up my sleeve, man. Out there skunking the little kids, man. It's a fishing derby, all right. I
Right.
get it.
Right. So, what do you want to get into the city council meeting discussion?
Well, there was a
wanna
work.
do that?
Yeah, we can do that. There was a work session on Monday.
Right.
City council meetings on Monday. So this coming
Right.
Monday. So
Yep.
the 23rd, 6:30 p.m. up at the district courthouse.
Yep.
If you're not familiar with that, then you make yourself familiar with it. But they had a work session this week, and there were several topics of discussion. One I found kind of interesting is these volunteer groups. There's people who volunteer and they're nominated to be like on the city planning commission, and they look at giving them a stipend now for their 2 meetings a month, and if there's any special meetings, then there might be an additional stipend. I don't know. They're looking at doing a draft resolution, motion for resolution and all that, to where basically people who are volunteer or appointed, they can start receiving some monies for their public services. They did some, I think, market research of other communities, and they saw that I think it was Lowell is paying residents a certain amount. So I encourage everybody. Again, we brought this up multiple times. Kevin Dooley, Johnny on the spot with camera and tripod, man.
Yeah, does a good job.
He doing everybody a great service by putting this content out on LIBV TV. He's also got a YouTube channel covering these work sessions and these city council meetings. And so I watched it, and just trying to keep in the know a little bit about what we said. You got to stay in touch with what the city's doing as far as business, because they're going to do business regardless. And one thing was brought up on there was I guess they only meet for like 8 months out of the year or something like that. Like the planning commission. I thought he said it was 8 months. The Arts Council, they're gonna look at reimbursing them for some of their expenses as well. So a lot happened on the work session, and then Monday, they have the actual city council meeting, and that's where public input can come in, right? And so during the work session, there was Councilman Snow brought up some information regarding complaints about lack of response from community development, people not getting phone calls back. I know I've mentioned that several times on this podcast, but other people in this community have also mentioned it. But they were looking for like documentation of that, and I have no problem. I've emailed the director of community service. I've emailed the mayor. I've gotten no responses. I've gotten a phone call, like I said, back in April, right? Got a phone call. Hey, the guy decided he was going to set something on fire. Cool. Want to follow up on this, on what's happening with, somebody, obviously if somebody says, you're not going to burn, and you burn anyway, and then the police, fire, and EMS show up, what's the follow-up on that? Right? Never got an email back on that, by the way. I'm just going to let you know. Never got an email back. Never got a follow-up phone call. Nothing. Right. Well, was it Monday? I believe it was the 16th.
Yeah, Monday the 16th. Yeah.
Right? Was it the 16th?
Yeah, you're right. It was the 16th.
Was that this month? No, that wasn't it. Right? I'm thinking maybe 16th. April. Give me a second. I'll get this lined out. The dates, I'm pretty good. Is the 9th. Monday the 9th. That's where we witnessed some additional dumping of extra vegetative material on the site that was on my street. The whole thing, right? Again, this requires a little bit of follow up and stuff. Or didn't get a follow up phone call or text from Peter regarding what had took place the previous month. And then I see somebody bringing in vegetative material. Still no permit posted on that site. No permit posted on that site, right? Little concerned, like this guy's somebody's bringing material out, dumping it on the site now, right? Shoot an email over to community development. Called the non-emergency police phone number. Never got a response. Nobody ever came by the house to do a follow-up report. So I sent the mayor and I believe it was the mayor, chief of police, mayor pro tem, and director of community development,
right?
an email
Doug
on
Tapp,
Monday, May 9th.
Okay.
Didn't hear no response. So they had their meeting. When was that? Monday.
That was the 16th.
Monday, May 16th, and
Right, a week
Councilman
later,
Snow.
exactly.
I also forwarded this over to Councilman Burke, Councilman Flynn, Councilman Snow, and I was like, a little concerned right here. Like I haven't heard a response. One, to my phone call to the non-emergency number, but two,
Right.
to an email. Well, they had their city council meeting or their planning session meeting. And so at the tail end of that, Councilman Snow brought my emails up to them. I don't know. Thank you very much, Kevin Dooley, for documenting this.
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't have sent an email had I gotten an initial phone call back from Peter back in April, whenever he said he needed time for everybody to file their reports. That being said, on Tuesday, I believe it was Tuesday or Wednesday, so I've been the 10th or the 11th of May. Again, my wife, she filled out the online form, right? And Jesse from Community Development gave her a phone call, and she basically she vocalized her concern with the lack of response, right? And the fact that this has been an ongoing problem and nobody seems to be taking it really serious, right? And so Jesse, community service driven, man, gave it's like, here's my cell number, text or call. If you witness anything else, thank you for the pictures of the vehicle that was dumping out there, et cetera, right? Right. But very responsive after he realized, we're not going, we are actively. It looked like Burning Man was getting ready to take place in our community, man. I'm saying, it should have never got to this point. It should have been nipped in the bud and not gone on for. Again, the deck was dumped in January. Initial report of this made to community development was in January. It went so far as one of our neighbors that live on the street next to the site, emailing the mayor and going and physically sitting down and talking with the mayor, and that took place. And again, no follow through. Right. So here we are, May now. I'm going to tell you, the site looks like a totally different site, though. It's mulched up, looks good, blah, blah, blah. But here's the concerning factor, right? I sent an email. I think we said it at the beginning of the podcast. Check that junk email, right?
Yeah.
Well, I haven't gotten a response, one, via my phone call to the non-emergency phone number. Two, the mayor never followed up with me. But apparently, it's on me to, make a phone call or a text message to the mayor whenever he said he was going to follow up with me. Still doesn't address the, non-emergency phone number. Apparently, I've been told, this week I should, make a phone call back to the non-emergency phone number and request to speak to another officer to file a report for no contact. Right?
Why? I mean, that's an internal issue, Chris.
It is an internal issue.
Yeah,
Fact remains, I'm going to play this bean footage that, this beautiful bean footage that Kevin Dooley has provided out on the interwebs. Of this specific segment where we're discussing, Jerry brings up my emails, provides him with a hard copy, and we'll just listen to it and, we'll break it down afterwards.
Okay.
Go on over to the web share. All right.
Well, this should be good.
Maybe, maybe's not. Let's see. We'll add. I could have been better. Yes, what kind of production guy are you, man? No, I mean, can you get your stuff together, bro? I'm trying, boss. I'm still shaking it over here. I'm sorry, working it. Can you work it? I don't know.
Boss man.
Maybe I'm not Missy Elliott and I can't work. Working it. I'm getting there. All right. Add a source. I should have been prepared. I thought I was better. So, again, while I'm doing this, I'm going to bring up the fact that I've made multiple phone calls. My wife has made. My neighbors have made. I think I've done my due diligence to report this issue. Oop, boy. We've done our due diligence as a community to report a specific issue. The issue is not with us, the residents. The issue is obviously with a lack of communication or a breakdown from the way city business should be operated, especially when you pay taxes. Okay, so sorry that took a little bit longer than expected, but we're going to go ahead and roll this footage now.
An email from him.
I never got an email from him, so.
I guess, why would, well, of course, the mayor says he never got it. Doug says he never got it.
Chief didn't get it.
Never got
Doug
it.
didn't
I'm
get
looking, I
it.
searched my inbox, so.
So.
Did you ever send it, Chris?
Oh, I sent it.
Inboxes, right?
I don't,
Well, this is a print off that could have been typed. I'm not accusing anybody of anything. I'm just saying I don't.
could have been created but not mailed.
Yeah, it could
And
be
then you
that.
print it.
I'm not accusing of that. I'm just saying I get a lot of emails and I don't have that one.
We should be able to search our email, even if it's spammed or something, it should be able to
Yep.
pull it up if it was ever delivered, and none of us are getting it, so.
Can I go into something real quick?
Freeze that.
I don't know why my email would go to spam. I mean, I've emailed Peter a lot during that whole stump dump debacle. Right.
Right.
Was having regular meetings with him. They were productive, but they were regular meetings. I've emailed him. I don't know why all of a sudden, after we start our podcast, my emails ain't coming through no more. I don't know. I'm going out on a limb and I'm saying it. I'm not making an accusation. I'm just saying it. It's a little odd.
Yeah.
One thing I would state, when it comes to any enforcement issue, I've said it before, and a lot of people go to social media and air a complaint, and they think the city always knows about it, and they
You didn't
no
air anything in
complaints made
social
to
media,
us,
you sent
and
them an
we don't know
email.
about it. And so it looks like, why isn't the city doing something? We're all talking about it, and it's because no complaint's been made to the right people to know about it. I don't know that that's happened here, but that does happen.
Here's a fascinating thing for this one right here. I've been there. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Right.
There are houses all around it.
Yes.
What I don't understand is why hasn't somebody seen something?
We have seen something. A deck being dumped on our street. A person bringing vegetative material in there where we've gone to the point to call the non-emergency phone numbers. We've reported this to community development multiple times. Right? Yeah, you
just
came by in
breakdowns.
April, man.
One breakdown after another.
You came by in
know?
April, Doug. I mean, you've been by. You came by in April. I'll give you that. It's May, man.
Yeah. Well, you've been dealing with this since January, right?
Yeah. Why has nobody seen something? We don't expect people to be rolling into our neighborhood to dump it, and when we report it, we expect somebody to be out there to address it. Imagine my frustration. Imagine my neighbor's frustration.
I know.
My neighbor went and sat down and talked to Peter.
Right.
I don't know. Keep going.
There's just a long laundry list of screw ups, man. There's a track I mean,
it seems like they're asking all these arbitrary questions without saying, well, where did we screw up, guys?
yeah. Well, it goes back to having ownership, owning it, you know?
Because it would make noise, there'd have to be a huge truck dumping something on that lot. They had to back down on the lot. I saw
What does
that's
that
what-
matter?
That's something I don't understand. You know, is why hasn't anybody seen or heard anything to report?
Good point. I don't know, but the way things have turned out, I would just almost bet that the contractor that's now going to build on a lot dumped the deck there.
Hey, can I apologize.
Oh, he wants to go into
This
another.
is
He's
wrong.
going into another
This is
segment
wrong.
right here, right?
That's okay.
About somebody else.
We have.
We'll speed this up a little bit. We get past the other business that's not really addressing Jerry's business. You know,
She's a woman, okay, go from there.
A therapist. Yeah. But anyway, really nice young lady. Had a lot of comments.
okay, nice.
You know what? I'll have to look that
Okay,
up.
just email.
I just know the
I
person.
need that for that.
What does he mean by which vacancy?
Okay,
It's not at
I
large.
found it in
No
my
person
junk mail.
is- No, it's not. It
Yeah.
fills
You hear that?
You can pull up into that.
I found it in my junk mail and I went there because our system said it's unverified.
Food or.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I looked at May 9th and I have nothing in my inbox.
So apparently my email's unverified, so it's in their junk mailboxes.
Gives his email
So how many
address
other
as
people have been sending
unverified
emails to the city and they're not getting it? Is my question.
Right. You
Well, why
curious
would
why
yours
you're
be
not
any-
getting a response?
Why would yours be any different?
Right. Theirs would probably be unresponded to as well if it's, I don't know what their system's doing, calling people's emails unverified when they've obviously emailed the. I mean, I get emails from the city. You know, I mean, like I don't know. Maybe it's one of. Conspiracy theories. I don't know.
This is just nuts, man.
You know, it goes on and on and on and on and on, right?
Okay.
But
So now they found the email.
they found the email.
Okay.
Cool.
So
we found the email.
the deck's been cleaned up. Everything's been
Yeah.
mulched.
Well, obviously we got in touch with Jesse a few days later.
Yep.
Um,
Now, how many people after they found the email have acted upon it? Actually, reached out to you between? I think it was the chief of police, right? You sent it to the mayor, the city councilors. How many actually picked up the phone and apologized for not reacting to your email,
Nobody's picked up the
or even
phone.
asking if you need anything?
Nobody's picked up the phone, but
So
the
nobody.
director of community development did send me an email the following morning after this meeting.
Doug. Yeah.
Yep. I told him, thank you for getting back with me. I appreciate it. I think he emailed me like really early in the morning. It's 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning. Said he would give me some additional information regarding the permits that were issued for the site and stuff. And then also, next level, right? So this is I give praise where praise is due, right?
Right.
Went so far as to email the director or one of the IT guys in the city. I don't know if he's a director or not, but he emailed the IT guy in the city and says, hopefully your emails aren't going to come back as unverified, but also went and said, please ensure that my emails aren't coming in as unverified anymore. So he went to IT and actually asked them to, ensure. And then he provided me with, contact information for all the code enforcement officers, his phone number with his extension.
Yeah.
And so that's what I expect, right? But that only came from community development. Really love it if chief of police would follow up with me, but apparently I got to file a report, so, but that's it. I haven't heard back from, Councilman Fowler, Flynn, or
Nothing.
obviously
Crickets.
Jerry Snow. He's gotten back in touch with me.
Yeah.
This could be happening all over the city. I don't know, with residents emailing the city, thinking that they're actually emailing. You go to the website and you find the director of community development. You can shoot them an email, right? Their emails are published. Councilmen's emails are published, right? You click on it, you send an email. How much is not actually getting through to these people? I don't know. We don't know. That's a question. But I would think that at a minimum, you should be looking at your junk email box
Right.
at least once a day.
Yeah, I always look every few times in the morning and at night because I have a lot of emails come through, and sometimes they pull into the trash or the folder, and I have to pull them back out. So
I love the smiling faces that I'm seeing after Peter says, "Well, we went to junk because it was unverified." Like, look at this smile. I mean, I don't know. Seems to be like a lot of happiness in the room right here.
what do you
Right?
want them to do, man?
I don't know.
Oh man,
I don't know, man. I don't know.
I don't
But
even know where to go.
I
with
really
this.
appreciate Doug Tapp getting, shoot me an email, provide me
Yeah, at
with,
least someone cares,
I
right?
mean, well, and Jesse, and I appreciate Jesse as well. After we got in touch with him, I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday that same week. Very responsive. My wife got him. Can text him and he'll look into it. So,
I don't know about you, but if I was on the city council there and that happened to me, I'd make an effort to reach out to you, Chris, and apologize and say, listen, what can we do better? I mean, it's just things happen, but not to follow up with a phone call. It's downright disrespectful, man.
Well, after this meeting ended, there was some conversations about, Councilman Snow let me know that there was conversations about, all of our phone calls to the police department are they're responded to and stuff. Well, this was one instance where it wasn't, right. And I think that somebody basically said, well, unless it's like one of those habitual callers about like everything, right?
Right.
I don't abuse that system at all. Would never even think about doing that. But Peter sticks his head back in the room and basically says, well, all but insinuate that, I'm a pain in the ass. I mean, he basically said I'm a pain in the ass and possibly batshit crazy, right?
Nice.
I'm sure
nice.
I'm a pain in his ass, bro. You damn right I'm a pain. If that's what you feel about me, then I guess I'm doing my damn job, okay?
Well, it looks like he won your vote, huh?
Yeah. What? How many times does this guy? I mean, you don't think you've equally been a pain in my ass?
On a potential voter, a pain in the ass. I love that.
A constituent of mine is a pain in the ass, right?
Wow.
I don't know, man. I don't know. So, this little meeting goes on a little bit because Jerry was kind of blown off right here, by bringing up this other topic. But it's not just us. It's not just our street.
So it'll
Others.
automatically send it to junk.
Smirks.
Yep. Always pick up the phone
Always pick up the phone, right?
or text. 'Cause I'll get the
Or
text.
text.
What was it? He's telling you to pick it up?
Yeah.
You initiated the
Number one
conversation.
complaint
He
I
never
hear
followed
from
up with you.
people, and if you should happen to vote those number of people to be here next Monday night to speak their 3 minutes, the biggest complaint that they have got is that they cannot call community development and speak to anyone or get a phone or a return call. They do not get a return call.
Yep.
The man that lives across the street from this house on number 14 Constant Surface said he called community development a number of times when it was being built to point out what was happening, and no
Not
one
just
ever
us.
returned his call.
Yeah.
So,
I don't get that complaint. They don't call me and say staff is not returning calls.
probably not. I don't,
Because you're
I wish
not
they would.
returning their calls.
If any of
You
you,
can't fix it unless you know.
well, Jason pointed out, why do people call us? Well, people call us because they can't call community development and get a return call.
and people also call you before they ever call. I
Yes.
learn a lot of stuff from you all that never came,
It doesn't come across your desk.
go straight to you or the mayor.
But as I said, if you want, I think I can get a pretty good number in the room here next Monday night if you want to hear
Tell them to come on.
3 minutes.
I want to hear.
Well, Doug all fired up. Tell him to come on. So you know what, people, ladies
who's
and
telling
gentlemen,
him?
Doug
What was
Fowler.
his name?
He's the one standing up like he's done with this conversation, right? Like he works
Who's
for
he telling
community
to-
development or something. Right?
Who's he telling to come on? Constance, the guy from
Oh
Constance?
no, the residents
Oh,
that Jerry says have this complaint.
right.
So I'm gonna put it out there like this: have you ever called the city and got not a proper response? Have you?
Yeah, we've had.
I know
some
I
fair-
have. I know you
Yep.
have. I know everybody has. At some point in time, there's a lot of people who ain't getting the service they pay taxes for.
Yep.
Right? Show up to the city council meeting on Monday. Get there a little early. Sign up to talk. I think we need to let them know. We don't want you guys like ignoring us anymore. It all boils down to the lack of leadership from this administration, though.
Right.
I honestly believe that TAP, you know, I mean, it's obvious. He emailed me at 5, I think it was 5 something in the morning, the following day after this meeting, right? I
Right.
believe he actually cares about his job. I believe Jesse cares about his job. Once he's made aware of it, like how serious this issue is to us, the resident, right? But you got Smirky over there just sitting back, leaning back with his hands in there. Hey, it went to junk. It's unverified, right? Like, always pick up a phone. I pick. What more do you want me to do other than call an emergency phone number after I've called a non-emergency phone number to report a potential crime in progress because there's no permits posted on the site, right? Somebody's bringing in material, piling it up.
Just another bad actor, man.
It just goes on and on, man. But sit over there, Smirky. Like, sit over there. Call me a pain in the ass. I don't care. I held the flashlight for my dad at the age of 4 years old when he was working on a car. You think I served in the United States Army. You think you calling me a pain in the ass means 2 shits to me? No, it don't, man. It don't. You're equally, if not more, a pain in the ass to all of us in this community. You just sit in the position, though. Sit there, smirk. Get red whenever somebody questions you. We've all seen that lion face before, Pete.
Right.
We're seeing it.
Yeah. It goes back to what we said before, Chris. I mean, it's just, there's a pattern that's developed over the last few years, and it's not positive. So we know
it's a pattern of being. I know we're beating that dead horse. I know our viewers are like, come on, guys, you're hung up on? No, you dang right, I'm hung up on it.
Yeah,
right.
Well,
I'm a pain in the ass. Cool. Better get some Pete. Pete better get him some preparation H because I ain't going nowhere, baby. I'm like a bad case of hemorrhoids. I ain't going nowhere, man. Ain't going nowhere.
So the other thing that we've been talking about, and maybe we can have Doug Tapp on and talk about these permits, man, on these lots. They're clearing lots left and right.
Yeah.
I do see on occasion a few lots that have on the trees are marked, with a permit. But by and large, I'm not seeing any of them. I mean, what exactly is the protocols and the procedures in place?
One would think
do this?
that, to do a clearing, right, they would need to. I mean, you see somebody doing something on the street, right? We don't know what's going on anymore in Bella Vista. It's become the Wild Wild West, right? So logically, you would think that if somebody's doing something on a lot, there should be a permit posted,
right?
But another case in point is somebody started clearing a lot, and then went around and asked the neighbors if it's okay to burn this stuff. And neighbors like, well, I don't want to be a pain in the butt and stuff. But if it becomes a problem, what are you guys going to do about it?
Right.
So it became a problem. They lit it on fire. Became a problem. Interestingly enough, the bobcat that was on the site looks like the same bobcat that was out on the site on my street. So I'm wondering if it's actually the same. Wondering if that deck made it over to that property, since it's okay to transfer stuff from one property to another property and dispose of it that way. Creating all types of little unpermitted stump dumps all over Bella Vista. So it's a shell game. I don't know.
So apparently the guy had a permit, but he lit it on fire, and then they told you that they were going to investigate it. So there was no investigation. They never followed with it, and the guy actually had a permit, right?
The lady told me there was no permit. Called
Okay.
community development. Same kind of lack of response. Called the fire department. They're like, well, there's not much we can do about it. Like, I don't know.
Well, they showed up there and said there was no permit.
They said there was no
right?
permit, right? Yep. And so
So
I
now
don't
all of a
know
sudden a
I don't know
permit appears?
I don't know the details of that conversation. But what I did is I encouraged this person after seeing this video, encouraged that lady, go up to city council meeting, hear your grievances.
Yeah.
That's about the only thing that it seems to be like they're receptive to is actually getting called on the carpet during a city council meeting. And I would say receptive, and I'm using that word very lightly.
Right.
Because sometimes you get that, oh, 3 minutes, thanks. Right. Next.
Right.
Next. Right. You get that. So, again, not just me. There's multiple people who are dealing with this. We got, I think you're right. I think we need to, sit down and talk with Doug and say, what is the protocol? Right?
Yeah.
If we can have clear protocol saying, if you are a builder doing something on a lot in a neighborhood, you need to have this permit of approval to clear the lot posted. Right? Posted.
Right.
I thought that was the protocol. That way there is no question that this is authorized by the city.
Well, apparently when they had the fire trucks there, they didn't know that. They didn't know it was unpermitted. Or it was actually permitted. They said it was unpermitted.
Yeah, on her
And they were gonna
on her
prosecute
situation, they don't know. And then
Yes.
I mean, when the fire chief said that they weren't going to issue a burn permit, right?
Right.
And they still on my street, they still lit it on fire.
Right.
Well, the guys that were actually doing the work didn't know that, right?
Yeah. Well, I tell you
Okay.
what, let's I'll reach out to Doug and see if we can have him on for about 10 or 15 minutes and give us an understanding exactly
Yeah.
what
I mean, it would be nice just
figures are on it.
to have a firm understanding of what the process is from, taking an unimproved lot and turning it into a home. And what, the neighborhood can expect, and maybe, again, it takes a village, right? It takes neighbors looking after neighbors and neighbors looking after the neighborhood. I know they don't, I know they're limited on staff, man. I know they are, and I know they have a lot of roads and mileage to cover, right? But again, if it goes back to if I see something, I'm going to call and say something, right? I just expect follow through whenever I call and say something. It should never go to the level where the neighbor that lives next to this lot, has contacted community development along with my wife, my neighbor across the street, the other neighbor across the street. We've all witnessed this since January, right?
Yeah.
And there's nothing, right? And then it gets to the point where she actually sat down in Peter Christie's office with him. Still went on.
Right.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't want to sit here and hang up on this, man, but again, I don't know. Not a high level of confidence whenever you call. Get no action.
Right.
They say they say this isn't a problem. I say if you've witnessed this, get your butt out to the city council meeting on Monday and state that, please.
Right. Right.
They don't know. You heard one of the guys in there, well, if you don't know about it, you can't fix it, right? This is our opportunity to let them know about it. Because they obviously are unaware. Maybe everybody's phone calls are good. Here's the thing, man. Well, he could have made a phone call. He could have texted. To be quite honest, after everything that this, mayor did or didn't do, I have no desire to talk to him. I really don't want to talk to him. But I'm forced to talk to him because, well, he's still pooping in the pool, right? I mean, It's I don't want to swim next to you, but I got to get in the pool, man, just so I can tell you, quit pooping in the pool, right?
Right.
So, but the flip side of that coin is I've already established a pattern of behavior with him. In my mind, I think a lot of people in this community's mind, we've established a pattern of behavior. Who uses phones, man, when they're basically saying, no, I want an established paper trail. I'm using email, right? The only people who are like, well, give me a call and we'll discuss this out, right? It's the mob or drug dealers, right? I mean, I want, if I'm doing actual legit government business, I want a paper trail that's foiable.
Yep.
Period. Could have picked
Yeah.
up the phone and called, right? Same thing goes for you, Pete. You could have picked up the phone and called me back and let me know what the status was. A couple days, a week, maybe after. I don't know. Could have picked up the phone and called after I called the non-emergency phone number, right?
Right.
Reported a
Right.
possible crime in progress, right? But I guess they're putting that onus on me. Cool beans. Could have paid my taxes, you know. No, I don't get an option in that, do I? Right? Bet if I start paying my taxes like you guys respond to shit in the city, be a different story, wouldn't it?
Right. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, man. I know I'm a little ranty right now. It's just
It's frustrating, man.
It's frustrating. It is.
I know. But if we don't bring these things to light, they'll never get corrected, Chris. And other people probably,
Right.
I would imagine there's other people out there that are going through the same thing. And
But it's
it needs
just
to be
frustration,
fixed.
man. People get frustrated to the point where it's like, what is the point in even calling anymore?
Right.
They obviously want to turn a blind eye to stuff, and and I don't want to see that. I don't want to see people giving up on the system, but I think a lot of people are giving up on the system.
Yeah.
So,
For
because of leadership like this, really.
Yeah.
It really boils
Yeah.
down to leadership. I don't think it's the employees. I think it's leadership like this.
Right. Yeah.
Which I don't know. Hopefully,
Well,
soon
hopefully
enough,
we'll get
it's
some
going to be
more.
gone. Right? It's going to be gone, and we'll have better leadership, and
Yeah.
we'll move
Hopefully we'll
along.
get some more clarity Monday,
Yeah.
and hopefully we'll get some people out there and address these ongoing issues and why they continue to happen. So I tell you what, let's head to a break and we'll dig into some more.
That sounds like a plan, my man. We will be
Okay.
right back, y'all. Sorry, we got a little ranty there for a little bit. Man, we're almost an hour in. We're going to have to speed this little train up, buddy.
No.
All right. We'll be right back.
Tired of waiting, lost while I'm sitting at home. Dream of a new destination, lust for something unknown.
We are back from that short intermission break. Don't you worry. We left the best what's going on this weekend till after the break. Again, that footage is from the Dirt Surfers Nasty Crew 2022 practice a few weeks back. That is happening this weekend. I think it starts. The races start Saturday and Sunday. They got 2 heats. They got a lot of heats going on out there. But if you got time, you're interested in the one wheel scene and just checking out some pretty cool new tech and a new race environment that's up and coming. Passion Play, Eureka Springs, Christ of the Ozarks. They're doing it on them trails
check
out
it
there.
out, man. It looks pretty cool. I'm hoping the weather will hold up. It looks like it's going to be some thunderstorms, so I hope that won't, cancel it. But we'll see what happens.
I think these guys are going to be out there racing as long as it ain't too sloshy, man. Remember that interview with Rob, man? These things are bulletproof, man. They're built like tanks, and
yeah.
Obviously safety is a concern, right? But there is some risk with riding on some of these trails on those things too, man. So
yeah.
But I look forward to getting out there and checking out some of the action, doing my photography thing and my videography stuff.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Going to try to make it out there sometime on Saturday, and check it out.
Good deal.
Team. So we got another topic of discussion, I think, and it was the Jim Parsons
white fence
lawsuit.
It's been going on forever, man.
I think all fences matter, but
I just all back and forth, man. I just said these things got to just be grandfathered in, man. You just can't change a rule and have someone rip up their fence, and if it's been in there prior to the rules being changed, it's grandfathered in. It's that simple. Then anytime
or
after
set an
that,
arbitrary date, right? Say, okay, look, man, if everybody's got a fence in the past 5 years should have had a permit, right? It's only as good. The rule is only as good as your record keeping, though.
Right.
Set a date. Say no more. Right. Everybody's grandfathered in.
Yeah.
And through attrition, it'll go away.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it is what it is at this point, but it's a shame that he has to go through that.
Well, so that lawsuit was actually dismissed from something like as simple as improperly being served. I think the court documentation was served improperly or something like that, and
wow,
and they just tossed the case, dismissed the case, right? So
yeah,
doesn't mean that it's not. It doesn't mean it's off. Off the table.
Right.
We file a lawsuit.
Right. Maybe we got
properly
Jim
this time.
I'd love to have Jim on too to talk about it in more detail, and
need to see if we can set something up with Jim and talk with him a little bit on this. Right. I think Jim is he's a world of knowledge, man.
Yeah,
he's actually a fun guy to sit down
good.
and talk with too. I really enjoy every time I sit down and talk with Jim, man. He's just, I don't know if it's the Army in me, and he's former Army as well. He's retired Army, retired Army colonel, man. Special Forces. He's a fun time to sit down and talk with, man.
Yeah,
I really enjoy sitting down and talking with him. So
yeah, he's I met him a few times. Very articulate, man. He's probably knocking on 80 years old, I would imagine, and he's
up there, man.
Yeah, I mean he's well spoken. There's no doubt about that. Yeah, that'd be great to have him on. So, hey, again, we keep on. I know we're beating a dead dog here, but man, I mean these freaking gas prices and these food prices and stuff. I mean, at $10 for a Big Mac, fries, and a soda. I mean, come on, man.
Oh man, you could cook a steak dinner, man, for what it costs you to take 3 people to Chick-fil-A, man.
I mean, this is I don't see this ending, Chris. I mean, we're in May now. I mean, the fall. What's fall going to bring? I mean, this is insane. People only have one pie. You can slice it 100 ways, or you can slice it 1,000 ways. They're going to have to reallocate their funds. Something's going to fall off the table, man. Eventually,
Well, Started to dig through some of the photos that were, we got queued up. But yeah, gas prices. This is on the Arizona-California border right here. $8.29 a gallon. I mean, it's basically $8.30. I mean, 9/10 of a penny, right? Who even does math like that? I like, why even? How much fuel does it take to run that extra 9/10 of a penny? I mean, you could have saved everybody a couple pennies, right? By changing your sign. Just keep it stupid simple.
Sounds
right?
better, right?
Right. $8.29 and 9/10 of a penny. $8.30. Now, here's the kicker, right? For you to drive on the regular grade gas, costing just as much as it's costing a diesel truck, man.
Yeah.
But here's the kicker, right? This business that's on, they gotta. Apparently, some people were complaining about the fuel prices. They basically said, "Well, suck it up, Buttercup. This is the sign at the store out there, right? Our overhead is extremely high. Delivery cost is double with this location. There's a vast of almost 100 miles of desert with no services. Please don't complain about the prices. You have a choice to be a customer or not. Or sit here and not pass through 100 miles of vast desert." Right?
Wow.
It's literally highway robbery, right?
But he's not even hiding it. He's just telling her, or they're telling it straight up. We don't care if you want it or you don't. Just keep in mind, you get 100 miles of desert. If you don't make it, you're dead meat.
I like how somebody put this. They scratched it off, but somebody did stick one of those. Joe Biden. I did that.
Oh yeah, I didn't even notice that. That's funny. I know.
I did that.
Well, I mean, we're going to go into a full-fledged recession, man. There's nothing being done right now. Nobody's doing anything to lower gas prices, food inflation, and now diesel's going up. These truckers are going to stop. These carriers, you know what they're going to do next? They're going to say, hey, you know what? I'm shutting it down. These independent guys are going to say, I'm not making enough money to do this drop. Guess what? I'm not bringing the food or the materials or the supplies anywhere across the country. I'm shutting it down because I'm losing money.
Well, on top of it, other countries are going through the same stuff right now, and they're starting to limit the amount of exports and stuff like that. Weird. I don't know. I don't want to be like tinfoil hat, man. Don't make me play the X-Files. But we're heading down that direction of was it worth it building it back better? Was it?
I mean.
Maybe what he meant by build back better is we got to tear it all down first, right?
Yeah.
And then build it back, right? Look at that disruption it's causing to everybody. I don't care what side of the voting spectrum you're on, man. Everybody's feeling the crunch.
I know. I mean, you got to reassess how you're going to live. I mean, we're talking about recession. Heck, we're talking about depression. I mean, this continues.
Well, that's
to
where
go
I think
this
that
way.
we're going too. If you've been watching the stock market this week,
right? And it's just thousands, yeah. And you're going to continue to see that. It's going to go into the fall. Then we'll have another round of COVID rolling in on top of that. So,
yay, more COVID. What variant are we going to call it this time?
I don't know. Maybe roll some dice.
Omega Gamma.
That's coming.
Mufu.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know anymore, man.
It's frustrating, man. It's just
there's obvious solutions for some of these problems, right? But nobody wants to hear those. Nobody even wants to even talk about the solution. They just want to point the finger. It ain't our fault. It's Russia's fault. It's their fault. It's this fault. It's no baby formula. It's because somebody found a problem that I take the problem seriously too, right? But when you found a problem and you said, well, this may delay, I don't know. I just, like I said, I find it odd that there's a baby food shortage after this Roe v. Wade thing, right? And the fact that they found that bacterial problem, I think it was 3 or 4 months ago, but now, just this moment in time, there's a crux of baby food shortage, right?
Right. Yeah.
Don't get me started. Don't feed your kid 2% milk, right? Don't give a kid cow milk, right? Well, my kid can't. I ain't got nothing else to give my kid, right?
Right.
I could tell you, you need to go visit a old people's home, retirement community or something. You talk to your great grandmother, your grandmother.
Yeah.
Right. There's ways to take rice and
how to survive
and rice water. Right. There's enough nutrients in there. You have to find a solution, right? Because nobody's going to offer you a solution except those old tried, true, tested.
It's
measures.
just one thing. It's just one thing after another. I mean, it's just. He's a train wreck. I mean, he needs to be impeached and removed from office. I mean, that's the bottom line. His faculties have declined so much. He doesn't know what's going on.
I don't know, man. I've always looked at it like this. It's not the responsibility of one man, though. There's a whole administration of people, right? There's a whole
They're taking
bunch
lead from
of
the president.
people. There's a whole bunch of people that are, there's a secretary for everything,
Right.
Right. And there's people that are responsible for report. Like, where are the solution providers?
Right.
Like, where are the people actually saying, like, look, man, I'm not 100% sure if this will work, but let's put our brains together and let's talk about my idea and see if this will fix it, right?
Right. Yeah. Nothing.
There's no
Crickets.
active troubleshooting, man.
No, they're just sitting back and hoping everything will correct itself. Yeah. And that's when you put people in position they're not capable of handling those positions.
Starting to wonder if these people actually represent we the people, or if they're just like mad at us.
So, man, we beat that one too. So let's get into the Bentonville School Library reading material. You sent me that link, and I listened to it, and I was just, my jaw dropped. I mean, I was just like, this is just absolutely sickening. Can you give us a little more detail?
I'll give you some context. Okay, so I think we talked about this a few podcasts back, where concerned parents, have been going to the Bentonville school board meetings, saying, "Man, you guys got some crude and lewd stuff in the school libraries that have no business being in these school libraries.
Right.
They're not age appropriate. They are sexually explicit. There needs to be a grading system to ensure our kids don't have access to this type of stuff, or some type of authorization system. But like at a minimum, it should be like addressed by the school board. And their requests have gone basically unanswered for several months. I don't know.
Right.
Sounds familiar. I mean, we're used to that in Bella Vista. So why would it be any different in the Bentonville School District, right? But so, these parents, these concerned parents, one of them posted, a reading from one of the books that can be found in, several of these schools. And I would go right on over to the web share.
I tell you, after listening to it, it got me all so upset, and I feel for the students, but I feel for the parents. And if my kids were in that district, they'd be out. I mean, my kids are older now, but if they were in that school district, I'd pull them out yesterday.
I mean, we understand that, like there are books that are written that are age appropriate. There's just like movies, right? There's movies that, like, I'm sorry, I'm not letting my 7-year-old watch an R-rated movie.
Right.
There's ratings for a reason, right? It's like, hey, there might be some bad stuff in there that might traumatize your kid, or, as a parent, you don't want your kid to be exposed to.
Sure. Yeah.
Surely we can come up with a grading system for books that are in a school library. And if it's graded a certain way, then it requires parental approval, right?
Yeah, I have to seriously question the administration and the kind of content that's being provided to these kids. It's mind-boggling to me, man. I want people to listen.
At this point, man, if people aren't listening or waking up, man, I don't know. I said it on my post about voting, man. There's a lot of work that's got to be done, but it all starts with voting local. And that means voting local in your POA, voting local in your city elections, voting local in your state elections, voting local on your school board elections. Getting involved. If you are concerned about the direction that this country is going for your future, your kids' future, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with an artist writing or, an author writing a book either, right? I'm just saying as a parent, I'm concerned. What are we doing to our youth?
Right.
This has been going on for a long time, and we look at the state of this nation right now. Some people don't see a problem with it. That's concerning enough, right? But some people do see a problem with it. And when they address it, they go and actually air those grievances. They're either one, labeled as domestic terrorist by the Department of Justice, or two, looked at with blank stares.
Right.
No.
Well,
We'll
I think
play
people
this.
that haven't.
I
don't
hope
think
everybody
people-
listens to it. If you have kids in the room, luckily this person was able to put this in there and say, our podcast is labeled not kid appropriate for a reason, right?
Yeah, I think people are going to be appalled when they listen to this, like I was, and they're going to be asking more questions.
All right, here we go.
Welcome to Bentonville Public School District's Library Parental Information Sharing Time. Warning: this content has sexually explicit and vulgar language. We will pause for 10 seconds to allow children to leave the room.
I'm going to go ahead and read this. Summary of concerns. This book has sexually explicit excerpts and sexual assault, as well as graphic violence involving child abuse. This book requires a very high level of maturity and should not be read by anyone under the age of 18. However, there's a significant literary and educational value for adults. Okay? They're not discounting the book, right? They are saying probably shouldn't be read by children, right? The name of the book is Sold by Patricia McCormick. Okay. On that 10-second pause, I think. There you go.
A man with lips like a fish comes into my room and says, "You're lucky to be with Habib." He is squeezing my breast with his hand like someone shopping for a melon. I'd have tried to push him away, but my arm, stone heavy from the lassie, doesn't move. "You're lucky," he says, "that Habib is your first one." I close my eyes. The room pitches this way and that. "You can tell the others that it was Habib," he says. I open my eyes, watch him squeeze my other breast, and wonder, who is this Habib he keeps talking about? "If this is really your first time," he says, "old Mamat is a tricky one." He unbuckles his belt. "Once before she sold Habib used goods." The fishlet man removes my dress. I wait for myself to protest, but nothing happens. "Habib," he says, "Habib is good with the ladies." Then he is on top of me, and something hot and insistent is between my legs. He grunts and struggles, trying to fit himself inside me. With a sudden thrust, I am torn in two. "Oh, yes," he says, panting, "Habib is good in bed." I hear, coming from a distance, a steady thud, 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 and register that this is the sound of a headboard hitting a wall. After a while, I don't know how long, another sound interrupts the rhythmic thud of the headboard. I know this noise from somewhere. I work very hard to make it out. Finally, I identify it. It is the muffled sound of sobbing. Habib rolls off me. Then I understand. I was the person crying.
This book can be found at Fulbright Junior High School, Lincoln Junior High School, Grimsley Junior High School, Bentonville High School, Bentonville West High School. This book's about a 13-year-old girl sold into slavery. However, despite the subject matter, these books do not pull up when you search sex/rape. Right? So it's miscategorized.
Yeah, on purpose.
Purposely.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's just absolutely sickening to me. Who would approve this? Who would approve something like this?
When you have, I think we said roughly 500,000 books being introduced to the school library systems a year.
Right.
Who has the time to read all this? There should be an automatic grading system that's accurate, right? There should be accountability to the authors for providing specific subject matter keywords when it relates to what is this book about? What are the activities? The verbs in this book, right? The adjectives in this book equate to what?
Yeah.
Right? I don't know. Yeah. Maybe not. But I could say this. For these concerned parents that are going to these school board meetings upset about this, they are right to be upset about this.
Oh, for sure.
They deserve an answer from the superintendent, from the school board. They deserve to not be ignored when they have valid concerns. Validate these people's concerns.
Right. You intimately talk to someone that's involved in this process, right? And they were are they going to be able to get them on?
I am working on getting them on for a full-on interview to talk about this issue. It's been ongoing with the Bentonville School Board. I'm hopeful that we might be able to have her on next week.
Oh, that'd be great.
To discuss her concerns and obviously the lack of response. And if we have to, we'll reach out to a school board member and get their input as well.
Yeah, I've been looking too, and I looked at that book, and it's being sold online from major retailers are selling that online.
Look, a major retailer is going to sell a book regardless, right? But there should be a disclaimer on the book, and I think you looked at it on. Well, it didn't mention anything about that, right? About rape, right? Sex. Yeah. No, about somebody's life. Like just about this person's life. Right? Okay. Totally, like, I don't know, man. It's just misleading. It's disingenuous at a minimum.
Yeah.
And it's sneaked through the system. So parents are concerned whenever books are getting sneaked through the system because they're being disingenuous on how they're labeling the books.
Well, not only that, but
there should be keyword searches, man.
Yeah, the person that's actually approving this stuff is just they're sick. They have some issues.
Well, again, they put the onus back on the parents to read these books before their kids read them.
Yeah, it's their responsibility.
Like we had so much time in 2022 as parents, right?
Right.
Cost of living is just through the roof. Inflation. Every household pretty much has to be a two income household. So either dad's absent because he's working 2 jobs, or mom and dad are doing the best they can, trying to get through and get dinner on the table, get the kid fed, get the kid to bed, doing the best they can, right? But no, now you have to worry about what your kid's reading at school. You can control everything in your house, right? You can be like, nope, we limited screen time, we're limited the channels that we subscribe to, we're limited the content that we allow in our house, right?
Yeah.
But this is outside of your house. Now you have to read every book before your kid reads it. Yeah.
We're going crazy, man. It's nuts.
Sweet, man. Nuts. Like, I'm so glad I pay taxes, man. That somebody,
I know.
With taxes, you give up a certain, so here's the thing, right? Like, people are like, why are you upset with the city, Chris? Right? Because I pay taxes for certain, I give up my ability to be a regulator mount up, right? For police service. Right? You get what I'm saying? Right? I forfeit specific things to pay for somebody to do those specific things. Right? I pay taxes for something that I could easily take care of myself. Oh, you want to come and rob my house? I don't need the cops. I don't, man. I'll take care of that problem if I have to, right?
Right.
But obviously we have laws that are prevent me from doing that, and I pay taxes so that somebody else is responsible for doing that, right?
Right.
You wonder why people are pissed, because the system is not working for we the people anymore. It's working for special interest corporate groups that have a different vision of what this nation should be.
Right.
I think it ties into our next topic too. Is what was it? Companies getting into politics, right?
Right. Yeah.
Companies getting into politics. I'm sorry. I don't believe the Constitution ever said we the companies of the United States of America. Never said we the companies.
I always had a problem with that, and more, they want to try to show their social responsibility to their employees. But the mistake they're making is a lot of these are publicly held companies. The shareholders own the company, right?
Yep.
And they're going out and taking positions that are hurting the value of these stocks, and they're hurting the shareholders at the end of the day. They have no reason to be in that arena. Their job is to make the most money and the profit for their shareholders
and the best
take
product,
care of their
right?
employees.
The best product, so
Right.
that it is a
Right.
profitable product.
Right. They have no business operating and taking a position of some party affiliation or aligning with a specific group. I mean, there's so many of them, Fortune 500 companies out there have done this, and now they're starting to get blowback.
Well, look,
And,
okay, case in point, right? Look at Starbucks, right? Starbucks came out this week and said, we're going to pay for our employees to cross state lines to get an abortion if it's not available in where they live, right?
Right. Right.
That's their
Stay out
right
of
to
it.
do, right? But is that smart business?
No.
Or maybe you
it's-
should just keep your
again,
mouth shut and just sell coffee, right? I mean, you've stepped
Right.
into a world that, first off, your coffee's overpriced crap anyway to begin with, in my opinion, right? You know, I mean, like, I'll
Well, but
make an
here's the-
espresso all day long at the house, man. You know, I mean, like,
But that's the thing, and that's what's happening now. The shareholders and the board have had enough of it
Yeah.
because they're getting blowback on it, and they're taking these positions.
you thought you liked that
are-
$8, $9, $10 freaking latte, mocha, choco, farting, whatever, glitter bomb. You know, you like that much, right? Well, now that sucker's going to probably be $20, man.
But you know what?
Not
They-
even
they
counting
took-
inflation.
All these companies, because they felt that they were woke and they felt this was the right way to go with it, and now they're wishing they hadn't because
I ain't
they're
had a
in world
Starbucks
of
coffee in I don't know how, probably 10 years, man.
hurt. No.
I had one and I was like, man, these guys don't even use filtered water over here, man. Like I could taste like I was in New Orleans, man. I was like, I really need some coffee, man. I was a bit tired. I need a coffee. I'm gonna go get me a coffee at Starbucks, man. Extra
Right.
shot, right? Espresso.
Yeah.
Bro, I could taste that, you know, I could taste that New Orleans water, man. You know what I'm talking about too. New Orleans got a little taint to their water, man. There's something in there. I don't know, man. They got that little flavor, right? And you're just like, they ain't even using filtered water in this sucker, and it still cost me like $11. It ain't even good, man. You know,
I know.
whatever. I'm just drinking it for
Yeah.
the caffeine. It's like you're voting, man. You know,
Right.
Just-
right.
just get it done with, man. Get it over
I know,
with.
I
Even
know.
though the politicians suck, right? Just get it done with, man. You know.
So I tell you what. Let's end up on a good note here. Tell me a little bit about Turpentine Creek. I know earlier in the week you went with your family.
Yeah.
So it's a good segue to end up on.
It is. So, you know, I see posts on social media, you know, like Bella Vista neighbors of Bella Vista, just everywhere, you know, all these social media. What's, you know, new to the area, what's a good thing for me to get, you know, to do with my kids over the summer? Kids are getting ready to get out of school and stuff. There's a lot of opportunities people might not be aware of it. Like Eureka Springs, Arkansas. What is it? You know, hour east of here? Maybe an hour. I mean, well, it's probably an hour.
Yeah.
Little switchback road though. Okay, don't be driving like, you know, no dummy out there.
Yeah.
These hollers, as we call them hollers in Arkansas.
Yeah, you go off there, man.
You gonna come around one of these corners. You gonna find out how far a fall is, man. Some of these suckers are down there, man. It's deceiving too, because you're looking at like trees, right? But those trees are just like right there, and then it's 150 foot down. You know, like,
right? Yeah, it is. Man.
Take
The
it
drop-off's
easy.
Crazy.
Enjoy the scenery. It's a beautiful drive out there. But so you get into Eureka Springs if you're coming from Bella Vista. The way I like to go is out 62 out towards
Rogers.
Garfield, and then you'll go through Eureka Springs, and you'll go south on 23, I think it's about 7.5 miles on the left-hand side, a place called Turpentine Creek, and it's a big cat reserve. It's a rescue, right? A lot of big cats that were rescued. They actually have some that were rescued from Tiger King, man, believe it or not. They're still going through some Department of Justice stuff, so they can't talk too much about the cats or their history or their lives. But they are they're a no-touch rescue, right? So they only the handlers only touch the cats when they're sedated. A lot of the cats out there have special needs and stuff. And they've got one. I think they said he's over 25 years old, man.
Wow.
Which average cat only lives for I think 14 to 15 years in the wild.
Crazy.
But the star of the show for me, man, the star of the show for me was Bam Bam.
All right, let's see
Bam Bam.
video.
Yeah, I got some video. Let me get over to web share. Bam Bam is my buddy, man. He's a grizzly, man. He's a grizzly bear.
Oh yeah. Wow.
And I don't know, man. Just Bam Bam's my buddy. I don't know. This bear is just so cool. He's so cool that the city of Eureka Springs actually gave him his own day, and people come out to Turpentine Creek to celebrate Bam Bam the bear.
Wow, that's pretty neat.
We're gonna bring this up. Maybe, I don't know. What kind of production guy are you, Chris? Get your stuff together, man. We had this all working, and then something went wrong, and it crashed, and we reloaded, and I'm sorry, man. I am so sorry to do this to y'all. Give me 2 seconds. Come on. Window. Come on, Chris. You got it. All right.
So is that open all year round, Chris?
It is, yeah. They actually have camping out there, too. So this is Bam Bam's... you can see Bam Bam over there on the right hand side. This is Bam Bam's pool. He's got a pool in his little habitat. I'm going to get Bam Bam's video pulled up. You just bear with me 1 second, because this is just the cutest thing in the world. I love this bear, man. I don't know why. You'll see why I love him, man. He's a very animated, he's a ham, man. He loves being looked at and seen, and I don't know, man. It's just, it was such a good day out there.
Cool.
All right. So we are going to pull up QuickTime. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see if we can get it up here. Looking.
So when you're going into that, I just noticed that the sign there is Aqua Creek out of Bella Vista, Arkansas. That's Randy Murray. His company, isn't it?
Yep. He is the mayoral candidate. He created a pool for Bam Bam.
Awesome running for mayor of Bella Vista, Randy Murray.
Yeah. I am I don't know why the Windows server is not pulling it up, buddy. I don't know. Let me get rid of this one and create a new window, and we'll see if it works. Okay. Oh. Get rid of this one. Okay. We're going to turn off window capture. Turn on a new one. I don't know. This is live. See, this is the problems that you run into when you do a live show, right? Stuff just may or may not work. We're going to work our way through it. Yeah. So, Randy Murray, man, he's the Aqua Creek guy, and Bam Bam got a pool created by him, and
that's awesome.
You're gonna like this video because Bam Bam actually is chilling in the pool. That's why I think that everybody needs to see this, man.
Right?
It is because Bam Bam's actually chilling in the pool and just enjoying it. He's loving it, man. Here we go. We got my bear buddy, Bam Bam.
Yeah. Hey, there it is.
There he is. Enjoying his pool that old Randy Murray created him. And we're just going to play it. Yeah, it's just having the time of his life. Look at that bear, man. He's now everybody's like, oh, how cute. He's a grizzly bear, okay?
Yeah, look at his paws, man.
Look at that.
There it is.
Oh,
yeah.
my gosh.
Yeah, he's loving life, man. He's just soaking up the
He's
water.
having, he's having the time of his life, man.
What's he have there?
He's got a stick,
piece of wood,
and his
or a
foot, and like, look at his foot. It's like I'm winging my foot, and like, look at that foot, man.
Oh yeah, man.
He's loving it, man.
Yeah, he's.
How
funny.
can you not like, man? That is just so awesome, you know. I mean, like,
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
oh, Bam Bam, man, just getting down, man, in the pool.
Now, how old is he? Do you know how old?
I don't
he is?
know how old he is. I think he's probably at least. Well, they didn't tell me his age.
What's he weighing in at? You think?
I don't know. He's just a big boy, though.
Yeah. Look at him, man. He's just he
He's
doesn't
just
care
having
about
a time
going
of
on.
his life up in the pool, man. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, like he's like a big kid up in the pool. Like, I found me a
Yeah.
stick. You know, like,
Yeah.
"Ugh,
he doesn't care
I got
what
a foot up
anybody's
here
doing.
too. You know. Like,
Yeah, he doesn't even give a care.
No,
yeah,
he
doesn't care
doesn't,
what's
man. He's just
going
having
on.
the time of his life. Look at this. I mean, look at this. Like, look at his claws, man.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And he's like,
Wow.
I'm gonna chew on my foot. Like, just kicking that foot around like this right here just cracks me up. Foot. I got my foot up. I kicked that stick. Yeah,
Yeah,
but it's
that's
such a
pretty
good
cool.
day out there, and like,
Yeah.
you know, the habitat out there is they're doing great work for these animals. I mean, these are animals like they said the hope is that they won't actually have a need to operate one day, right? But
Yeah.
they had some bobcats out there that are some guy found 2 bobcat pups. I don't know, you don't call them kittens. I don't know, you call them cubs. That's
Yeah.
what you call them.
Yeah.
And so he thought they would make good pets. He brought them home, stuck them in a dog kennel, and was feeding them like a cat diet, right? Like a wet cat food diet.
Yeah.
So they were malnourished and stuff. But then that flood that happened in the Arkansas River Valley down there in Fort Smith happened, and basically he just left the house and left them in the basement in their dog
Wow.
kennel. Neighbor knew about him and went down there in about 5 foot of water and got him out and
Wow.
rescued him basically. And like, so now they're at this rescue, right? So it's like people thinking that they can adopt an animal from the wild, and then the animal doesn't really have the malnourished, doesn't have the faculties to actually survive in the wild. And so they rescue these animals, and they provide a quality of life, a long life, a healthy life. And they do this in a way that, like, there's no touch, like, they're not sitting there holding these baby animals, right? Like they're not treating them as pets. They're giving them a quality of life that they probably, if they were to be in the wild, they probably would not last near as long as they. I mean, they don't have the resources.
Right.
They weren't trained. They weren't taught by their mother. Like this guy that got the 2 bobcats. He found them whenever he was out in the woods, and versus leaving them so their mother could come back,
Right.
decided he was going to take them, right? And so
Right.
there's a lot of stories like this, and then obviously, they have a lot of white tigers out there because, like, there was a breeding thing for white tigers where people, like, oh, they make cute pets and circus animals and stuff like that, and
Yeah. It's crazy.
and so they're providing a really good service, and I think it's good educationally wise for children, but I mean, it's a really cool place. They got camping out there. They got bungalows, cabins. They got some with jacuzzis, man.
Wow.
And the money that they raise actually goes to help support the animals. I know Tyson donates
a lot of chicken, probably, right?
a lot of chicken and beef products
Yeah.
out there, man. Yep.
Okay.
So you have the ability to donate as well and sign up to be part of the Big Cat Club, I think is what it's called, and help out with this initiative in Northwest Arkansas.
That's awesome.
It's a good time,
Right.
man. I mean, I encourage
Yeah.
everybody to get out there and check it out.
Yeah. So, Randy Murray, we earlier in the week we had a chance to stop by his meet and greet, and I had a good time, and I met a lot of people. He had a huge turnout, Chris, and I had an opportunity to meet his wife and his kids and his mom also. So he's everywhere. He's there,
He's a man of the
I saw
people
him-
already, man. In my
Yeah, I
opinion,
saw-
you know what I'm saying?
I saw him at the Bella Vista Business Fair. He was out there. He had a booth. He was with his family. He was out campaigning, and man, he's everywhere. He's doing all the right things. You know.
I think so. I think he's doing all the right thing. Very approachable fella too. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, like he's, I don't know. There's an energy about him. I like, again, I would love to see other candidates on here. We want to get to know everybody, but
yeah, I mean, we've talked about this on numerous occasions. We've discussed that, and we've put invitations out to Steve Bork, John Flynn. Those invitations are still open, and
they'll remain open too.
Open forum, to come on and discuss your platform and what you plan on doing if you are elected to be the next mayor of Bella Vista. So. Haven't heard anything back from them, so I guess at this point we'll see. So,
yeah. Well, it's a marathon, I guess, right?
Yeah.
So, don't want to burn yourself out too quick, is what some people say.
Yeah.
Cool. Whatever, man. Like I ain't seen nobody's. I ain't seen much, man. I mean, maybe it's early. I don't know. I mean, it is May, right?
Yeah, it's flying by.
November's a long time away, but time is flying by, man. It seems like these past few years have just been going faster and faster and faster.
It's crazy, absolutely crazy.
Well, we've kept people late the last two podcasts. I know. We've gone about a little over 2 hours on the last two. I think we're gonna call this one an early one this week, man. And we hope everybody has a great weekend, great week. Coming around the corner. Remember to like, share, subscribe, tell a friend. If there's something you want us to look into, feel free to shoot us an email. Till then, have a great week. Stay happy, healthy, humble, and safe.
Thanks, everybody.
Take my hand, come take my hand, walk this road together.